I believe we are going. Let's go.
This is
Fight!
Church.
Fight! Fight!
Church.
Radio!
I mean, listen.
I told you I wasn't going away. You got your shot, now give me mine.
Why don't you get the hell out of here?
Cowboy, man, I ain't going nowhere. Politics, man. This country wants to keep me down. Keep everybody weak. They don't want a man like me to have the title because I'm not a puppet like that fool up there.
You can't front on that.
I was 4 years old when I realized that I could run the world better than the morons in charge.
There is work to be done. Perhaps you can afford the time to bask in gratuitous accoutrements, but my responsibilities require uninterrupted attention. I have work to do.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
This is
Fight!
Church.
Fight! Fight!
Church.
Radio!
I mean, listen.
I told you I wasn't going away. You got your shot, now give me mine.
Why don't you get the hell out of here?
Cowboy, man, I ain't going nowhere. Politics, man. This country wants to keep me down. Keep everybody weak. They don't want a man like me to have the title because I'm not a puppet like that fool up there.
You can't front on that.
I was 4 years old when I realized that I could run the world better than the morons in charge.
There is work to be done. Perhaps you can afford the time to bask in gratuitous accoutrements, but my responsibilities require uninterrupted attention. I have work to do.
Yeah.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Do it live. I'll write it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. It'd be better if Cobra Commander was doing that Bill O'Reilly, right? Fuck it. I'll do it live. Fuck you, Destro. I'll do it live. All right, sorry. We're like 30 seconds into me talking, and I've already said the F word a bunch of times. But Bill O'Reilly did too. Welcome back. This is Fight Church Radio. I feel like I got a little too much reverb on my microphone. Let me see what I could do about that. Shit. Is it this one? This one? This one? No, this is the one that makes me be able to hear it. Okay. All right. There we go. I think that'll work. Sorry. Okay, let's go. Broadcasting live from a planet called Earth, the bioregion of Cascadia, the city named Supportland, and a crazy-ass street called 131st, just south of Division. This is Fight Church Radio. I'm your host, Jesse Sponberg. I'll be your host from now until I get bored talking to you, or until we go through these 200 slides, whichever comes later. I might get through these 200 slides and still have stuff to talk about. But I do believe I have 200 slides from my recent trip to a magical place. It's crazy, man. So I went to the Great Plains. I went to North Dakota, for those who don't know. I went to go check out and lend my support to the movement to defend the Lakota nations and all of South Dakota's water supply from the Dakota Access Pipeline, which is basically the little brother of the Keystone Pipeline, which is another one of those attempts by the Onceler. That's all I could think about when I was in North Dakota was the Onceler. I mean, I thought about a lot of other stuff, but like it always came back to the Lorax. I mean, I just saw factories and GMOs and Roundup Ready ethanol corn available at John's Hardware. And it was Boomtown, right? Every business had a help wanted sign. Like they would even put it on their marquees, like their sandwich boards where normally like you would go like by Carl's Jr. They didn't call it Carl's Jr. there, by the way. They called it Hardee's. But it's the classic tale. The classic tale. It's a bunch of classic tales actually. It's the classic tale of progress versus nature. But it's also the classic tale of colonialism versus indigenous rights. I mean, to think that the Mandan people lived in that region in the 1500s. 1500s. And then to think that the colonialists or the colonists have only been over here for, not even a couple hundred years really. And we've already destroyed this planet. We've turned it into a belching, puking, flaming, leaking, shiny, oily, rainbowy. Those petroleum sheens are as pretty as they are disgusting. Look, Mom, there's a rainbow on the water. Okay, let me think where to start. First of all, it's really good to be back behind the microphone. Sorry it took me a little while to get this show up and running. I had planned on having it going a month ago, full speed ahead a month ago. But what had happened is we upgraded the show computer to Windows 10, and all of a sudden it couldn't handle the software that we were running. So I had to wait until I could get my hands on another laptop so that we could run it. So now I actually have 3 laptops just to do the job of one of them. But I can't give any of them up because hackers, they'll tweet on my behalf. So it's weird. I don't really know where to start because I don't want to be flippant. I don't want to just be like, I want to make sure that I speak on this with the absolute most respect and in the most humble and appropriate way, while still keeping it real and being myself. But okay. So the other things we're going to talk about in today's show. Oh, and if you're looking right now at the screen, what you're seeing is, I think it's the Snohomish River. No, the Skyhomish River. It's the Skyhomish River coming out of the Washington Cascades, flowing down. It runs alongside the train route for the Empire Builder. We'll get into that. I'll actually have some pictures of the Empire Builder. We'll have pictures of everything. I'll be able to go in like this linear fashion through the pictures and just take you on my whole trip. So if you're interested in that, cool. If you're not interested in that, then you should tune back in a little while, because also today I'll be talking about the Olympics. I'll be talking about all the bike deaths that have happened recently and all the pedestrian deaths that have happened recently in Portland. And I'll repeat my strategy for fixing it. You know what? That sounds terrible right there. It sounds like I'm the 11 o'clock news. There might be a zombie outbreak in your neighborhood. We'll let you know at 11. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy. It's not a teaser. For anybody that's followed my campaign, you know that my strategy is to make busy streets off limits to bikes and to make the next street over off limits to cars. Right? Seems pretty easy to me. But once again, Jesse has the solutions that don't cost a lot of money. Right? My distance between the problem and the solution are so short that there's not enough room for all these hands to get in and everybody to pull their nickel out or a penny out or a dime out or even a quarter out as that dollar passes by, right? So that's why most of my solutions just get ignored. That's why I'm living in a zombie house right now that the mayor knows about, the police commissioner knows about, the police chief knows about. Well, no, the police chief doesn't know about. The former police chief knows about. The current lame duck sheriff knows about. Every person in the mayor's office knows about it. But they don't want to give any attention to what I'm doing because my solutions are too awesome. Right? That's contradictory to the industrial complexes which control our world. Okay, so let's use that because I'm the master of a segue. So let's use that logic to understand why the city of Portland and the solution people are ignoring the backyard project. They're ignoring Hazelnut Grove. They're ignoring the zombie house opportunities, which I've created right here, right? But at the same time, they are willing to invest the time and the money and the resources into sequestering people for economic shortcomings, right? I mean, because that's what it is, right? If you're so poor that you don't have a house, we're gonna put you in this $100 million complex, right? A campus where you sleep in like like the Superdome or the Astrodome after Hurricane Katrina, in a FEMA-like situation where you're sleeping on mats on a floor with people that you would normally never cohabitate with people that you antisocial people who historically are hard to live with, right? That's why most of these people live alone. That's why they go and find places just to be, because that's why they don't sleep on people's couches, right? Because they oftentimes don't play well with each other or play well with others. Forgive me. So then the question becomes, how do you, after people have decided that they no longer want to live in this place, right? Now they're not protecting your investment. How are you going to protect your investment and keep your enrollment up, right? I mean, how embarrassing is it going to be when the Willamette Week writes that the $100 million campus for nowhere, right? And there's 8 people living there. So then do the math on that, man. Meanwhile, if you gave me $100 million, I could completely eradicate homelessness in Portland. Like, gone, bruh. Gone. Gone. Easy, half that. You want to know a secret? I traded some messages with Ted Wheeler today, and he reached out to me, and he asked me what I thought of that program. And I'll tell you about that later. I'll tell you what I told Ted. You can guess what I told Ted. But so my question really for this show that I want to answer later is, how did we, or how do we, not how did we, see past, present, and future, I'm all over the place. How do we protect that investment? And I don't say we, because shit, I don't have a nickel in it. I mean, I guess as a taxpayer I do, or I would. But how do they protect that, man? Do they come up with like militarized groups that go out and just tell people, like, you're homeless, you have to get off here, and we're gonna go throw you in this place? And then what happens if you want to leave? I mean, you're a long way away, man. I mean, it's only a mile away, but you're just gonna leak into the neighborhood. Oh, and screw those neighborhood people. Oh my God, that lady. Oh my God, I forgot about that lady. Let me write it down. I'm all verklempt. Oh, the lady with her baby. The lady that said that homeless people shouldn't move into her neighborhood because some homeless people are predators and her 3-year-old daughter is attractive. Oh my God. Okay, look, I will get into that after a little while. So much to talk about. Okay. I also want to talk about the Olympics. Holy crap. Is there anything more effed up than the Olympics, man? I mean, really. Really, really. There's so much wrong with the Olympics. I don't even know where to start. So probably when we pick up this topic, I'm just going to jump into it in the middle and just start making all kinds of accusations and general blanket statements against people. For example, general blanket statement. Most Olympic athletes are privileged to be able to have a schedule that allows them to train. And they're privileged that their parents have a schedule that allows them to get to the gym. Now, don't tell me, Jesse, what about this one athlete who overcame so much? He became a marathon runner by running 10 miles in the snow both ways through asteroids. Where you thought I was going to go with the old cliche? No, the asteroids was the main point. You can tell me about that, but I just told you we're going to speak in blanket statements. You know? I mean, to be a gymnast, you need access to a gym, right? Shit, I ain't never had access to a gym. And I got all kinds of opportunities. But the worst part is the exploitation of everybody by a small, very corrupt, already indicted, already imprisoned Olympic governing body, and the leadership of these countries and these municipalities that sell out their population so they can be on NBC for 2 weeks, and then leaves devastation in their path and displacement and misappropriation of funds. I mean, it's the Hunger Games, folks. We're gonna have to up the stakes as soon as viewership in the Olympics drops a little. We'll have to up the stakes. But really, like, where's the joy, man? United States, yay! You beat this guy from freaking Madagascar, right? Isn't that awesome? You beat a dude from Madagascar. Yeah, that dude never trained. He just ran around his yard and played badminton in his backyard. Meanwhile, our teams have, incredible access, incredible resources. I mean, it's like how many people rooted for the Russian in Rocky IV? Well, the United States is Russia, and Russia is the United States, and these countries that keep getting busted for doping and bribery, and then not to mention that jackass, I don't even know his name, that swimmer dude that made up that lie about the Brazilian getting robbed in Brazil. Swim Shady. I see somebody call him that on the internet earlier, Swim Shady. It needs to stop, but it won't. And you know why? Because it is an industrial complex. And once something realizes it's an actual entity, once it becomes a complex and becomes self-aware, right? Then it realizes the need to sustain itself. And every time we do a show like this, we always end up bringing up multiple industrial complexes, right? So like prison industrial complex, cancer industrial complex, homeless industrial complex. Oh my God, there's so many. The fluoride industrial complex, the gun industrial complex, the war, the weapons. These are all things where once you realize that what you need to survive is more resources, more customers, then it all changes, right? So the Olympics is just about, it's like, the Olympics is almost like those rap promoters that make rappers pay to be on their show. Okay, you know what? I got a lot of thoughts about that. We're going to skip over that right now. We're going to go back to it. You know what? I got so much, man. We might touch on some of these other subjects, but I don't want to keep everybody waiting forever, right? So let's run a commercial real quick. And let's see. All right, we'll run a commercial. We'll be right back. Seriously, not even 2 minutes.
Are you looking for a professional sound engineer who will focus on your project and have it done the right way in a timely manner? I work with all budgets and specialize in hip-hop, though I work with all genres. Rush Hour Sound, 971-344-6099, or find me on Facebook.
Yo, this is Luck One Conscious, King of the Northwest. And when I come down off of my royal throne to get my records mixed, there's only one person that I trust with my vocals, and that's Traffic at Rush Hour Sound Recordings. Ho.
Rush Hour Sound, 971-344-6099, because speed is relative. Are you looking for a professional sound engineer who will focus on your
Hey team, imagine your company's ad being right here, right now. It's me, your old buddy Justin, giving you another life hack. If you want to reach a diverse audience of the most active and engaged... Hey team, imagine your company's ad being right here, right now. It's me, Your old buddy Jesse giving you another life hack. If you want to reach a diverse audience of the most active and engaged people in the city, then you should take advantage of advertising opportunities within the Fight Church family. Whether it's the radio show, the television show, or one of our many charity events within the community, for the amount of money that most people spend on their monthly drinking budget, you can turn your hustle into a household name. Fight Church, 100% sucker free.
Look at this killer, man. I got some opiates. Get up. I got a lot of more. Come on.
Here we go. I got a plumber coming in.
Come on, fool.
Ain't so bad. Come on, ain't so bad. You ain't nothing. Come on.
You must be crazy or something.
I'm crazy.
You just a stupid
Yeah,
fool.
maybe
You crazy or something.
I ain't breathing heavy.
He's a fool. He's stupid.
I've seen you at 6
How can he come back from a beating like that?
Hey, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
Look, it's strategy, that's all. I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't know what you're doing.
He's gotta come to you. You're the champ.
He's nothing. He's not.
You stand toe-to-toe with this bum and he'll kill you. It doesn't take a man to stand there and get your head beat off. Don't.
He's getting tired.
Don't go wasting your punches. You're the champ. Don't try to take him out with one punch. Use your head. Now you wear him down. He's all ours.
I know what I'm doing. I swear I know what I'm doing.
Don't tell me what you think. Go out there and do it, Rock. I am the tiger. You understand?
I got some opiates. Get up. I got a lot of more. Come on.
Here we go. I got a plumber coming in.
Opiates. Get up. I got a lot of more. Come on.
Here we go. I got a plumber coming in.
Come on, fool.
Ain't so bad. Come on, ain't so bad. You ain't nothing. Come on.
You must be crazy or something.
I'm crazy. You just a stupid.
All right, sorry I messed that part up. Broadcasting live from a planet called Earth, the bioregion of Cascadia, the city named Supportland, in a dirty little street named 131st. This is Fight Church Radio. I'm your host, Jesse Sponberg. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Mean Green Cream. For your breaks and bruises, lumps, bumps, contusions, make sure you rub it out with Mean Green Cream. And remember, if your business would like to put together some kind of commercial partnership with us, we would love to make your company a household name, just like we have Mean Green Cream. Remember when nobody even knew about Mean Green Cream? Now everybody wants to rub it out. That could be your company. We could be rubbing your company out, so reach out to me, Fight Church Television at Gmail, or hit me up on my Facebook, or wherever we would usually link up. So here we go. The other day, the battle of the Lakota people versus a company named Dakota Access and the Army Corps of Engineers. So as soon as I saw it, okay, let me backtrack a little bit for you. So last year about this time, all right, let's backtrack even further. So about 2 years ago about this time, my friend Don Smallman offered me some tickets to go see a movie called Damnation. And at that time, I thought that hydroelectric power and dams were really cool. I thought it was a great technological advancement, and I was ignorant of the consequences and the after effects and the displacement that goes on sometimes when people build dams. And there was a time in this country where we built dams everywhere, and not only did it ruin our salmon runs, which are vital to many of the First Nation people, but we also destroyed a lot of tribes, Native Americans, since, going as far back as anything in this country goes. They've lived near rivers. That's what everybody does. You live near rivers, right? Okay, so you set up your tribe, and that's your ancestral grounds. And in the case that particularly came to my attention, it was Celilo Falls on the Columbia River. Now, for those who don't know, Celilo Falls was the biggest trading post in the center of First Nation commerce on the West Coast. West of the Rockies. all the way from Central America and Mexico all the way up to Alaska and through Canada. Everybody came to Celilo Falls to trade. What made Celilo Falls beautiful and so cool was these giant waterfalls. And the Native Americans would build these really cool scaffoldings, which would come out, these platforms, right? These, man, I'd be pretty scared to stand on these things, but they go out there and they cut the salmon. As the salmon tried to flop upstream to get up the waterfall, they would catch them, and which is crazy to think how big these salmon are. You know, I mean, think about catching a basketball or something and realize these salmons are weighing 30 pounds and you're trying to catch them in a net while you're tiptoeing on the edge of some flimsy scaffolding. But regardless, that was a great skill that the people that live along the rivers had learned, you know, over generations. So it was not a big deal to them. But then when progress comes, of course, you know, you build a dam, and what happens to all the real estate along the edges of the river is that it floods, right? I mean, you put a dam up, the level rises to the height of the dam, and it completely erases what was on the shores. In the case of Celilo Falls completely disappeared. Now, when you look at the Columbia River right now, you look at the Columbia River and it's pretty calm. I mean, it's got its little waves and it's dangerous, and I wouldn't advise swimming on it, but it's nowhere near how wild it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Before the dam came, it was a wild river, and people lived along it, just like the Mandan people lived along the shores of the Missouri River, and the Lakota people lived on the shores of the Missouri River. And countless tribes over countless years have lived on countless rivers. And then the Oncelers people show up. Okay, so I learned about Celilo Falls 2 years ago, and it touched me. Not just because I'm a water activist and a man who cares deeply and appreciates water and relies on it, but also because I have great respect for anyone who lives on the land and so close and in such harmony and in such participatory and reciprocatory, let's go with it, a nature where you give back as much as you take, you know? And the tribes could live there for hundreds of years and never really mess nothing up. And then people head west and they bring with them technology and advancements, and we'll get into it. Trust me. But the thing is, I told myself, Jesse, you need to get more involved and you need to learn more. And that's basically how I pledged to get more involved, was to learn more, right? Educate myself. So I started paying more attention and I'm really trying to make a point to read articles about water rights and to follow the pipelines and, you know, the Keystone Pipeline and now the Dakota Access Pipeline, which is just a little brother of the Keystone Pipeline. It's the same shit. Even though, I mean, they say that the Dakota Access is sweet honey oil or whatever they call it. But it's basically the same, you know. They could change it to make it tar sand oil really easy. So anyways, that's not my point. So then last year, right about this time, I discovered the White River, and I discovered a location named Sherrar's Bridge. And it was ancient Native American waterways, and it still had scaffolding there, and I'm sure it wasn't the ancient scaffolding. But what does it matter? Because we are the ancestors for the next generation, you know what I'm saying? Past, present, and future. What does it matter which Native American built that scaffolding, right? I mean, there's of course some appreciation for the archaeological aspect of a really old one, but it doesn't matter. Today's new stuff is tomorrow's archaeology. So anyways, the point I want to make is is I got there and it said that those platforms were only used for native purposes, right? No regular people could go on there. Regular people. I don't know what that meant. Not special people. That's what I meant, right? Regular people. Forgive me. I didn't mean anything by that. Too funny. I just meant not special people. Anyways, moving along. And then over on the parking lot over there, they had like one of those informational sandwich board kind of things, but it was nice and it was old and it was aged. And it had a copy of the 1850s treaty between the Warm Springs Nation. Well, they weren't the Warm Springs Nation at the time. They were the local tribes which agreed to move to the reservation. Man, you know, it was a messed up part, man. The government always picks the crappiest land to put people on. Like, you can even see it on the map, and I will show you, as we go through these slides in a minute, I will show you what I'm talking about. The landscape completely changes when you enter a reservation. It's like they drew the lines where this is where the grass stops growing, or the grass stops being green. Where the brown grass starts is where you guys get to live. And it's terrible. But so the part of the treaty that I thought was so important and so special to me was that, for my own selfish, interests, being water, was that the tribe agreed to be sequestered to that land. But they were also given the rights to the waters that were usual and, they're ancient waters. So they were given the reservation land and the waters that they used to fish on. Man, I'm sorry, I'm totally daydreaming on how beautiful that place is, and I got a little mixy with my words, or mixed up with my words. All right, let's start this. And if you missed the first half hour, perfect. So, at that time last year when I discovered the treaty and the water rights that were written into the treaties, I said to myself, and you can go back somewhere on my Facebook and check, I said, you know what? I really want to become more involved and more of an advocate for the water rights of the Native Americans, and in general, the Native Americans. And in fact, following that visit, the reason I discovered that place, honestly, if you want to line up the dates, is because I was the last car let through the checkpoint last year going through Warm Springs South, headed to Cove Palisades before the fire came and everybody had to evacuate. We saw the fire actually burning, Katie and myself, and they shut the road down right after us. So what that meant was on our way back, we couldn't take 97 back up to Mount Hood. We had to take 197 up and around. But 197 took us through Maupin, took us through the Deschutes, and then we turned east, right? And that's how we accidentally discovered the White River Falls and Sherrard's Bridge, which had a name before Sherrard came and built the bridge. But a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. Then you go up into the Thai Valley. It's cool land over there. It'd be nice if the people that originally were able to live there could still live there. But same thing with North Dakota. It's like there's a lot of really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spots in North Dakota, but nobody gets to live there. I got to live where the water is crappy. Okay, so I'm gonna officially start the show, and it's gonna go in chronological order of when I decided to get cracking or whatever. So let me see where we're at. And so what it is I've never done this before, but I have a shit ton of slideshows. Or I have a shit ton of slides, like I took pictures. But don't worry, it's not crappy pictures. Like I took only, I edited out all the dumb ones so that we could have a nice linear progression through the trip and I wouldn't be jumping all around. Okay, so This right here is the double-decker train called the Empire Builder, which is disgusting to me. It really is. I mean, I get it. It's weird because, I get it, and I'm not excusing anybody, but the settler mindset that's on that train is crazy. You know, they have people from the Forest Service, and they give you a tour while you're there. You know, they got a microphone that go, "This is Jerry. We'll be your tour guide today as we take you through Glacier National Park in North Dakota, headed to Minot, and we're going to get off right there at Minot, and we're going to turn around. We do this as volunteers because we're very privileged white people. We have retirement funds, and we can just travel on the train for free and tell people the colonial history of the West, including some clever rape stories that you're probably going to love." All right. So I called the guy out, right, quietly. I mean, I didn't call him out like, "Hey," you know, I didn't heckle him or whatever, but I took him aside and I was like, "Man, some of these stories you're telling are pretty messed up." And he totally didn't get it. Okay, I'll tell you more about those guys later, though. All right, so I get a phone call from my friend that says, "Jesse, has the Lakota water situation landed on your radar yet?" And I was like, wow, what a coincidence. I was just reading that. I don't know how I missed that. That sucks because that's something I told myself that I was really going to focus on. I would love to do something to help them. And so then I was offered the opportunity to go. Like, "You want to go?" I was like, "When?" They're like, "In the morning." And for those who know me, know I have a hard time saying no to anything. If you ask me something, I'm like, shit, why not? So people use that to manipulate me. They know. That's why they never text message me. They always call me or show up at my house because they know I can't say no. If you text message me, I can ignore you. Anyways, so moving right along, not trying to teach people how to manipulate me anymore. So we get on the Empire Builder in Seattle, which was cool. So we caught a train from Portland to Seattle, right? The Starlight Cascade. And it was cool because we had to catch the train at 8:15, and the dispensary opened at 8 o'clock, and the dispensary was on 19th and Kearney, and we were at Union Station. And so we timed it just so we could check into the train station, be sitting out front of the dispensary when it opened at 8 o'clock, go in, grab a dab cartridge from my oil pen, and then move right along. So we did it. We got it. Sorry, I was daydreaming again, thinking about how cool it was that we got that all done in 3 minutes. All right, so let's go to our first slide. So we go through and we're driving. I didn't take a bunch of pictures of the inside of the train because nobody cares. So like I said, this is, I think it's called the Skyhomish River. It's flowing west out of the Cascades. It's pretty shallow for the most part, but it's beautiful. I like the color green that it is. Now, these pictures, of course, are taken from the train, so they're not the best quality. Plus, by nature, I'm a shaky guy, so you got to understand that. Okay, so here's the thing. This is beautiful, beautiful land. And it could have been used as a reservation. But instead, there was value in this land. So when the settlers came over, they couldn't share valuable land, right? I mean, think about how much gold is probably in here, right? So here's another look at it. Sorry, there's some trees. You know, that's another thing you never really find on a reservation is beautiful trees. Because, well, there's value in that. You can cut those down. There's timber. Let's make sure they got the least valuable. You know, in a little bit, I'm going to tell you about George Custer and what precipitated their war with the Sioux Indians, the Lakotas, in which General Custer eventually died. And it was because they'd given the Black Hills to the tribe as part of the treaty. And then people began finding gold in the Black Hills. And, you know, if it has value, you can't have it. Okay? So this is crazy. Now, I'm not going to get too in deep. I mean, like, this is going to be a long show right here. So I'm going to tell you as it goes. And sometimes it's just going to be about me. And sometimes I'm just going to be teasing Sarah Long for snoring. But, okay, so here's another. See, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, keep looking though. So it's a long train ride. I mean, I'm not going to give this to you in real time. I'm not going to go minute by minute, but I just, you know, we're just cruising along this train. It's just beautiful. Just kicking it, chilling. So I think we're about to enter Montana. So this is right about where the dude starts telling us, man. He's like, all right, this land right here was settled by this son of a bitch and this guy. I mean, this is cool being able to just switch slides like this. Oh, now we're climbing in elevation because we're going up and over the Cascade Mountains. See how that's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, now then I think this is... this has got to be Montana, I think. It might be super eastern Washington. No, it can't be super eastern Washington. We still got to be on the other side of the Cascades, I guess. On this side of the Cascades. If you're in Portland, it would be on this side. So, you know what's really crazy? So the whole time we're on this train route, right, headed to North Dakota, I keep getting told by, oh, that's crazy. I keep getting told by this guy, oh man, it's sideways. I gotta quit taking pictures that way. So look, this guy right here, his job is to look out the train window because people have reported crappy tracks, right? Like busted tracks or whatever. And so the train has to slow down a lot, right? Like, so it has to go from like 75 to 25 so it can go around bends and stuff. And then the whole time that we're going from west to east, running against us, east to west, are giant lines of oil tankers. I mean, just full, just giant lines. And it just amazes me because they go full speed. They don't slow down. We slow down. They don't slow down. They go really, really fast. And it's scary because they blow up all the time. I don't want to blow up places like this. Come on, man. But they do all the time. So here's whatever. So these are like things, you know. The guy told us a story. Look at that car right there. I don't know if you can see that car. That's pretty cool. So the guy told us a story of how people would come and they built these giant lodges. And they would bring politicians out there and they would convince politicians to designate certain areas to be certain things. Of course, in favor of the settlers. I mean, shit, man. Honestly, it's hard to blame an individual settler for doing anything wrong, you know, unless you're just a dick. And a lot of times, like earlier in the week, I said, oh, all the buffalo are dead. Thanks, white man. And people got upset. They said, oh, I'm a white man. I have nothing to do with it. What about my Irish grandmother? The Irish were slaves too. Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit, okay? I tell you, a lot of times I speak in broad brushes because I don't have time for every snowflake, okay? So I'm talking as an institution, like I always talk about an industrial complex, whiteness, settlerism, colonialism, all of those things are institutions, okay? You know what I'm saying? Don't say, oh, there's good cops. I don't want to hear that shit. Broad brushes, man. It's a long show. Got a lot to talk about. Okay. So now we're up in there. Oh, gosh. Look how pretty this shit is, man. This is beautiful. Okay, I know this is boring. I'm going to try and get through it. I just uploaded it as a... So you could... Okay. One of the tracks. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Look at those mountains. I don't remember where these are, but well, you might be able to see me in the glare on this picture. Okay, there's another one of those lodges, man. They just build these dope-ass lodges and bring people out and take them horseback riding. I mean, why would you be mad at somebody? Like, I mean, you don't even know. Like, when you're caught up in the moment, you know, as a settler, People are like, oh, get out of here. You're like, dude, there is so much effing land. Just let me have some land. You know what's crazy is the parallels that I was listening to as I was, I mean, in my head, talking to myself. That's what I meant. Listening to my inner dialogue, draw comparisons between the homeless issues that we face on a microcosm and these giant settler displacement issues that are a macrocosm. There's a lot of parallels that you can draw between them, and I'll try to just like bring them up as I do. So yeah, this is a picture of me hanging upside down like a bat, ready to fall out. I gotta quit taking sideways pictures. Apparently, they don't translate well. Or maybe there's a rotate button on here that I could fix them up. Sorry. Like I said, it's our first show back in a while. Okay, holy shit. This just made my stomach drop even. Man, just remembering how I felt taking this picture. Just looking at this picture. Man, I jump off a lot of bridges into waterways, but I'm not pulling off that one. Don't think so. No. But look, we're way above the trees. We got to get up over the Cascades, and then we also got to get over the Continental Divide. Uh-oh. Look what happened. We just left Glacier National Park, and look how the landscape just effing changed. Okay? Let's do that again real quick, and maybe you can see where the national park stops and the reservation starts. Ready? In 1, 2, 10 steps. Step 1. Oh, national park. 2, national park. 3, national park. Oh, look at all those trees. It's so beautiful. Look at that water. Think of all the gold that's in there. How a simple person could spend his day just slush panning and probably support his family. How beautiful is that? Oh, look at those trees. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? The white man has all kinds of trees. He can cut that shit down anytime he wants, right? He can sell all that timber to China, grow new ones, right? Nice fertile land, beautiful. Oh, more trees. Oh, look at them. So much timber, so much wealth, in so few hands. Oh, let's build these opulent mansion lodges with trees everywhere and this nice little picket fence for our wheeled carriages to go around. Oh, and if that's not good enough, let's put little fake teepees up in the front yard so that the people that come to visit can appropriate the native culture. Isn't that great? Hold on, we're still going there. This is just my I see it's coming face. Now, mind you, this picture was only taken a week ago. My beard is out of control since then. And do you see right there by my ear, like my little sideburn things? They're just starting to creep right there. But I feel like I've aged a whole year, and those things have turned into owl's wings. Okay, so anyways, let's keep going. Okay, we just came up and down. We're going down the mountain. We got to cross the last river you're going to see for a little while. Oh, it's scary. It's scary. Oh, what is this? Where'd all the trees go? Hey, dude. Hey, dude. Why are you looking out the window now? Oh, because the track over here in the desert is all broken and crappy. I never saw you looking out the window when we were over here. But now that we're over here, you got to look out the window because the crap is tracky. The track is crappy. Okay. So then we take a break. We're like, all right, we are now into reservation lands. And I want to tell you something. I saw a lot of messed up stuff in the reservation lands. I saw poverty that I've never seen in real life. I saw water that was so polluted with fertilizers and pesticides and chemical runoffs and phosphates that the shores had a white crust all the way around them. I saw houses where the roofs had apparently declined to the point where you had to put tin sheets on top of your roof and then hold it down with a tire. So that meant that you would see a house which had 10 tin sheets and 20 tires on the roof so that the tin sheets wouldn't blow off. I saw yards that had no shit, 20 cars in them, man. I saw giant piles of tires. But I didn't take any pictures. Because I don't want to make a spectacle out of anybody. But if you ever get a chance, and you've never done it, that's a cool train to take, I guess. Just put in your earplugs. Anyway, so we get to our first stop now that we're on the reservation, and look what happens. Up, Border Patrol with black German shepherds strapped to the gills. One dude had an assault rifle. Everybody had a sidearm. And they had 2 black German shepherds. So I went up to him. And I said, here's a weird thing. We're closer to Canada than we are anywhere. What are you looking for here? How do you profile who you're looking for when you're close to another white country? And he said, we're professionals. We know what we're looking for. And I said, well, how do you know that I'm not a Canadian resident? I'm wearing glasses and I got a bad hairdo. I look Canadian. How do you know? And he said, I told you we're professionals. And I said, okay, well, I'm not trying to antagonize you. I'm just really curious, you know. And he said, we're looking for specific people. So I was like, whatever, man. I don't understand what that means. But then a couple days later, I relayed that story and that moment and that opportunity, that conversation. I relayed that to a person in town. And he said they were still looking for Mexicans. 40 miles from the Canadian border, and they're still looking for Mexicans. Because that's good work, right? I mean, shit, though. You're just looking for Mexicans. Just looking for brown people, just patrolling, making sure. All right. Yeah. So you can't see it because it's twisted again. I'm really sorry that this keeps happening to the pictures. But this right here, this old beauty right here is standing next to a train. I don't know. I thought I could use that joke later. All right, so here's the thing. We finally arrive in a town called Minot, North Dakota. And Minot, North Dakota is just kind of middle of America town, right? That's experiencing the effects of an oil boom, right? It's happened to a lot of towns, man. Oil gets discovered, oil comes through. Everybody moves there. No houses. The people that live there are displaced because the people that used to pay $400 for a month for a house now pay $2,500 a month. Every rental car in town is unavailable because the oil companies are literally renting them for people to sleep in. There's so much work there that every single restaurant, store, cafe, gas station, I don't know. Every business there, almost, it seemed like every business, had a help wanted sign. I mean, and they would use signage that was normally used for promoting products, selling products. Let's get it off this guy, right? Let's go back to what do we want to look at? Okay, we'll do this. And you're going to ask, Jesse, why did you pick this? I'll tell you why I picked this in a minute. Okay, so we get to Minot. And it's a boomer bust town. and all the hotel rooms are booked, and all the rental cars are gone. But I mean, we didn't even get there until 1 o'clock in the morning. So I mean, the whole town shut down. We got nothing. So this nice lady picks us up, just goes, "Hey, you guys need a ride?" I mean, we're just standing outside the train station. Like, literally, we just jumped on a train without a real good plan and just said, we got to get there, right? By hook or by crook, planes, trains, or automobiles. I better get my donuts. So now we're in Minot, North Dakota, man. And there's nothing for us. So this lady says, "What can I do for you? Where can I take you?" And I said, "Please just take us somewhere a little more populated than this murder road that we find ourselves on right now." So she takes us up the street to the Walmart, which is pretty cool. I still didn't go in, though. Hell no. I don't care what the circumstances are. "Sarah, you can go in the Walmart. I'll sit outside with our luggage." So you know what? Somewhere I have a picture of us sitting outside with our luggage. Let me see if I can find that. Well, not of us sitting outside, just of her being in the store and me just saying, "Fucking, where's my luggage?" I bet it's going to be way at the bottom of this thing. So anyways, now we're stuck in Minot. Oh, check this out. Just in case you didn't believe me. Okay, look to your left. Those are obviously Walmart doors, right? All right? Then look to your right. That's my sleeping bag. That's my pillow. That's my backpack that was given to me by the wonderful Deborah Gianni. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. That's my suitcase. Anyways, that's all you need to know, that we were actually outside the Walmart, and I did not go in. I have photo evidence. That's why I took that picture. So later on when I told this story, you wouldn't be like, "Oh, man, that dude sold us out, man. He went to the Walmart and he was all cool." Okay, so let me see. Let me make sure all these are in order. Okay, so let me just tell you something. So Sarah and I, we had press passes because I heard there was going to be a roadblock, and I didn't want to deal with a roadblock, right? So what I did was got us both a couple of those. I don't have a picture of mine because I'm an international spy, but that doesn't even matter. Oh, man, we're coming up on the top of the hour, though. What are we going to do? Top of the hour, are we going to just keep talking about it? Because we just now got to North Dakota. So I'm sure that everybody wants to know what's going on in North Dakota. I'll tell you, I promise. We had to get there. That's where we went. So all those stars right there, yeah, that's where baby Jesus is from. That's actually like Little Crater Lake, Buck Lake, and I think Timothy Lake. Those three dots, if anybody cares. But look how far we had to go out of our comfort zone. Not only did we go over the Cascade Mountains, but we also went over the Rocky Mountain High. Okay. So let's take a tiny break. We just got into Minot, North Dakota. And it's no country for old men. They don't give a shit about us there. Right? We can't get a hotel. We can't get a rental car. We're sitting outside the Walmart. And nobody wants to help us. We asked the cab. We said, "Hey, sir, how much for a ride to Bismarck, North Dakota?" He said $250. I said, "We'll figure something else out." So check out what we're going to do. We're going to take a little tiny break or run a commercial. Don't forget, every episode of Fight Church Radio is brought to you by Mean Green Cream for your breaks and bruises, lumps, bumps, contusions. Rub it out. And especially at this time of year, let's go through the whole jingle. Breaks and bruises, lumps, bumps, contusions, doodles, bond, and noodles. Even using it for lubing, you can use it too. Put it on your new tattoo. Rub it on your sock before you stick it in your shoe for the athlete's foot to kill the fungus. Oh, here we go. Or put it on your bug bite when that gets humongous. I have so many bug bites right now. And I keep forgetting to put my Mean Green Cream on it. Okay, so I'm going to go rub it out right now, if you know what I mean. And I just want to remind you that every episode is brought to you by Mean Green Cream for your breaks and bruises, lumps, bumps, and contusions. Rub it out.
Project and have it done the right way in a timely manner. I work with all budgets and specialize in hip-hop, though I work with all genres. Rush Hour Sound, 971-344-6099, or find me on Facebook.
Yo, this is Luck One Conscious, King of the Northwest. And when I come down off of my royal throne to get my records mixed, there's only one person that I trust with my vocals, and that's Traffic at Rush Hour Sound Recordings. Ho.
Rush Hour Sound, 971-344-6099, because speed is relative. Are you looking for a professional sound engineer?
Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Alright, look, let's just bump this for a minute. Alright, I want a full five minutes. So look, it's 8 o'clock right now. Meet me back here at 8:05. Unless you want to hear this song. This is Swimming with the Sharks. The boys Papa Knox, Dixie, Donovan Tripp, Max Graves, Daps, and my man Craig. I want to go take a cigarette break, but I also want to bump this shit. This fight church. Oh no. Oh shit.
They're saying keep Portland weird, huh? I'm like keep Portland affordable. And how about keep homes unforeclosable? And how about keep renters from going broke? Keep mayors from blowing smoke? Keep saying they will, they won't. They hokey poke, turn themselves around soon as you cast your vote. Head back to a castle in the hills that's remote from the everyday we know, where we replicate before development of soul cause a roar. To accommodate locals cough up more. It's time for us to score. In the city I was born, it's a pity you see the poor getting dissed by people slightly better off, yet still poor. Is there no remorse?
Okay. Alright, then I'll cut to the goddamn chase. Hey, nobody here is fooled. These promises.
The victim jumped in the car, ashtray, sis a dub. Hit a couple of corners, then pulls up at the bud. Spot where it's hot, yeah, boy, he knows it. But before he does the killing, he's got to get loaded. Throws up the set, then he rolls out quick. Then he spits at a bitch just for riding his dick. Now he's to the curb and yeah, he's got the feeling. He tells his homie Jig, let's get ready for the killing. Little did he know, Miss Daisy's in the kitchen, standing cooking chicken. Nah, I started clicking. Ran up
you were here, while you were here, and now you guys talk to each other like you're some great heroes.
Something bad has happened here, new guy. You don't wanna know. City full of teeth, truth this town to the bone. You just got here. No hate, I'm from long ago, but even though it doesn't snow, you get eaten by the cold. The streets are full of people that could use your help. The streets are full of people using zip ties for belts, and the streets are full of people in poor mental health. They know where to hide from the telling signs. Rain clouds swell. We love to claim liberal, but you're frontin', trumping up your worth, working on the pot of gold. Overvalued all your work. I'd rather spread that around before they count us down, before the cops hit another camp and tear it down. Perception insecurity has taught you to fear how this message might sound when it's caught you. Only ask that you consider who's taught you and bought you. When they're not around, yeah, we got you.
Wealthy with honey dripping out of your pockets with no conscience. Greed, the consequence when people just trying to eat. All taxing, you sweating, or is that the skin wax? So this imaginary idea of equality, it's intense, family's intense. Gather around this heat vent, but nobody knows what a speaker speaks up and needs. Listen, people just trying to breathe, eat and live. Drink the water that isn't tainted and tapped with carcinogens. Fluoride, chlorine, people are dying. Fluorides, who wants some bullshit? This isn't about your money or politics. It's about a leader that you can coexist with, that you can be friends with.
Local oligarchy gotta change, we got a chance to spark the reversal of the avalanche. The establishment candidates are business as usual. High rent, low wages, cobbled racist police, holes in the streets ain't something to get used to, it's unacceptable. More of the same corporate cronies taking vibes at the expense of lives should be unelectable. Yuppie paradise policies that ignore the poor are disastrous. Arsenic in the air, homeless everywhere, city collapsing in layer by layer. Rose City stand with me now, Sparmer for mayor. The people's champion will champion the people. Anything less is a Charlie Hale sequel. Fuck him, fuck Novik, and that Nazi cop that kept this job evil. Rat bastard weasels, we're taking back Portland where they got the residents yelling out, I can't afford this, afford this, afford this, afford this, afford this.
I'm telling you, this city is on fire, 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 fire.
Jesse. And he's done some really dumb things, and he's done some really good things. But all in all, man, he's a good human. He tries like all of us, though all of us don't try that hard. He drives like all of us, though all of us don't own a car. He ain't no superstar, but we knew all that from the start. He helped take fluoride out our water. Hope he raised minimum wage, and though he is a white male, he know what it's like to be a slave. He grills for me. And all the homies from the block, we used to freestyle, hugging the corners of the block, but now he's grown up. Hope my uncle becomes man, he's a deep man. Man, my uncle composed the layers, hope he wins, man. I got high hopes, and if he don't, man, I'm hollering bullshit, but I remain calm. I'm pretty sure that he'll win, and I ain't